Look at all this stuff. One of these days, we really have to focus on cleaning this place up. Everybody wants to hang on to everything. They store it in the stairway. Good morning, Richard. Well, we'll get to it. All in good time. Let's see. Call Tim back. I can do that later. And I can do that one later, too. Well, good morning. I'm Steve Thomas. And welcome once again to the loft here at Ask This Old House. This is the place where we try to answer your questions about the maintenance challenges you face in your old house. Doesn't matter whether your old house is 2 weeks old or 200 years old. Got a question? Send it in. Email us. And our experts will try to answer it. Now, if you're lucky enough and our cameras happen to be in your neighborhood, we may just pay you a visit. So don't be shy. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Steve.
What is this?
What's it look like?
Looks like a big old hunk of rubber is what it looks like.
Well, that's pretty much what it is. It's a mud flap off a truck, and I found it on the side of the road.
So it's roadkill.
Well, I guess you could call it roadkill, but I was looking for one of these. I need to cut some pieces of rubber out of it, smaller, so that I can save a marriage.
Roadkill to save a marriage?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Right. Last time we talked about saving water in rain barrels. So this time, let's talk about getting that water around the garden with a hose. Now, a lot of my hoses leak, Roger.
Well, you're not the only one, Steve. I got a letter from Jeremy in Boulder, Colorado. He wrote us saying, I've got 10 hoses stored in my garage, and they all leak from one end to the other. I know there are a million ways to fix a hose, but what's the best way?
So, what have you got for Jeremy?
Well, what I'd like to start with is this end. These have been around for 50, 75 years. Metal, very simple.
And cheap.
And cheap. Probably $2.50 a piece. Slide it into the hose, take the pliers, and simply crimp it down. Work your way all the way around it, you're done.
Now, my experience with these is that unless you get a good purchase here, they will actually slip out.
Yeah, that has been a problem. You got to really take your time and cinch them down.
What else you got?
Plastic. Okay, this is the next generation. You take this, slide the saddle over, take your insert, slide it in the inside. This happens to be a male end. Slide the saddle back up.
Crank it down.
Crank it down.
How much are these?
$2.50 a piece.
So they're cheap too.
Yeah, they come male, female, and if you have a leak in the middle of your hose, they also make one you can clamp into the middle of the hose to take care of that leak.
Now, I got a bunch of these, and the problem I have with them is as you drag them around the garden, the threads get banged up, and then it's very difficult to join two hoses together or put a nozzle on it.
Right, that plastic is a little soft. You'd have to be very careful with these.
What else?
Well, then we go to brass. They make this fitting for us. Comes with breezeweight clamp. Simply put the clamp on first. Take the piece, insert it.
How much are these?
These are about $3.50 a piece. Take a little ratchet, tighten it down.
And that is not going to go anywhere. If at least you can just crank it up a little bit.
Yep.
It's not going to get banged up as you drag it around the garden. But this is kind of a, well, it's tough when you hold it. And as you drag it around, it may make a mark in the grass.
I agree, but the thing I like about it, if the hose does completely fail, you just simply take this unit apart and take it with you, save it for your next hose.
All right. Now here you got something that looks very high-tech.
Well, they've gone to the next generation, Steve. This is a component that's made of 3 parts. We have a small saddle that slides over. We have a plastic piece, which inserts into the hose, and then the cover. And when you take and make this up, as you tighten it up, it makes a compression fitting. So once you're done, that's it, complete in place.
Well, that's really slick. You don't need any tools.
None whatsoever.
And it's not going to mark anything up as you drag it around.
Nope.
How much?
$7 a piece, Steve. Now, this is very expensive, high-end. This is something I would use in a big greenhouse where you don't want to have any leaks at all or under high pressure.
Well, Roger, I think for my money, I'll stick with this one. Cheap,
Right.
versatile, I'll own it forever.
It's a good choice, but let me give you one tip. When you're working with these, any fitting, to help you get the fitting into the hose, there's 2 things you can do. take this hose and dip it in hot water. It'll expand and make it supple. That way there you can slide it right in, and it just makes the job easier. If you don't have hot water, you can take some liquid detergent, put it on, and that should allow you to simply slide the piece right in with less effort.
All right. Roger, all great tips. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, Richard, it's your turn. This just in from Cincinnati, Ohio. Byron writes, no matter what plumbing tools I have, it seems like there's always something missing. I can sympathize with him there. You're a professional. What tools do you think are indispensable for a home plumbing toolkit?
Well, any kit would start with this tool right here. You can call them plumber's pliers, water pump pliers, or channel locks. What they have is a serrated teeth here on the jaws. The jaws also can open large enough for the type of pipe sizes that we use. It also has an offset head, which means that if I put it on the pipe like this, I can get increased mechanical advantage and more torque, versus using conventional pliers, if I put them on, it would just slip right off.
So the idea is that the harder you push, the tighter these jaws tighten.
Absolutely. But there are places that you wouldn't want to use these. If I had a nice chrome trap, I wouldn't want to use these sharp jaws and have it score that nut.
Right.
So you choose to use a adjustable open-end wrench, also called a crescent wrench, which you can just fit right on here, and it wouldn't mar the chrome finish.
And these come in a variety of sizes.
Right, all different lengths.
It doesn't pay to buy a cheap one.
Right. Another wrench is here, a pipe wrench. This is tried and true in our industry, be used for threaded connections like this. And one tip about that is, when we put it on and we adjust the jaws, we want the back of that jaw to touch the pipe. So as we tighten it, it will not take the pipe and go out of round.
And this is for rough work.
Absolutely. Now, with all these wrenches, there's always one more you need. Take a look right here behind this sink, Steve. There is no way, if this was hung on the wall, that I could get a pair of pliers up in there to make that nut. So they make a wrench called a basin wrench. Now, this has a spring-loaded jaw at the top, and you can reach up with this, and it makes onto the nut, fits in a really tight space, and you can loosen it, or if you wanted to tighten it, come this way. Invaluable, and there's no other way you could make this connection behind a sink.
And that'll be your friend at 9 o'clock on a Friday
Absolutely.
night.
Always.
And they're not expensive.
No, this should be in every kit, this one.
So that does it for the wrenches. Sooner or later, you're going to have to bite the bullet and decide that you can sweat some pipe together.
Right.
How do you do that?
Well, it starts with cutting the pipe. So this is a tubing cutter. It has a blade, 2 wheels. What you do is you put it on the pipe, and then as you make a revolution, you snug this nut just a little bit each time you come around. But you don't want to over-tighten it. You just want to go nice and steady. Nice and steady.
It is like magic.
Right, and you want a nice sharp blade. The other important thing is to make sure that you get it in the first time you go around, that you don't run right up the pipe. You want to make a nice tight revolution. Here we go. There it is. So now, the next step here is to get rid of that burr. So on any cutter, they have a reaming attachment here. So you want to come in like this and get that nice and open. If you don't have this, you can use a penknife to do that.
All right.
Now, we've made the cut, we've reamed it. They have emery cloth. You want to make sure you clean the pipe before you try to solder it. This comes in a variety of rolls. You don't need one this big. Just goes like this.
You can use sandpaper in a
Right.
pinch, maybe even steel wool
Right.
if you're really stuck.
They have a variety of tools. This is a cleaning tool. You can see these wire attachment inside here. This is for cleaning the outside of the pipe. They also have this for cleaning the inside of the fitting. Okay? So now we've cut it, we've cleaned it. Next you'd need some flux. You'd apply flux to this before you ever tried to solder it.
Then you got your
You
solder.
have a roll of solder. This is lead-free solder.
Then you need a torch.
Absolutely. Now this is a handy unit. This thing, you hit the button and it should light. It's been acting up on me a little bit. It's always good to have a backup, have some matches or
Right. Or a striker.
okay, or a striker. This has replaceable canisters that you can replace. Okay, so that is to solder.
Now what about threaded fittings?
Right. Well, if I need to thread a fitting, this pipe into a fitting, I can't do it dry without some sort of joint compound or it would leak. So the tried and true method is always joint compound. We call it pipe dope. You'd apply that on the threads and then thread that in with your wrenches. They also make Teflon tape. And this is really a handy accessory to have around where you go onto this thing and you draw it nice and tight onto the threads.
Does it matter which way you wind it?
Well, technically, you'd love to have it be that when you tighten it up, it didn't unravel. But the key is to just make it nice and tight like that, and that should be fine.
All right. And this is cheap. This is a buck or two a roll.
No, you should have about 20 of them around.
Now, every once in a while, you're going to need washers somewhere.
This is a professional's kit, but in the home centers, they have all sorts of smaller bubble packs or a plastic kit. But you should have some washers. You never know when an outside faucet or something will need a quick rewashing or a shutoff valve.
Great basic kit. What do I have to invest to buy it?
I was totaling this up. It's between $100 and $150 probably for all these parts.
And you're really going to love it.
And they don't go bad.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Richard.
All right.
Well, Tom, we get an awful lot of questions about circular saws. How to use them efficiently and how to use them safely.
Good question, Steve. Circular saws today are used on the job probably more than a hammer.
Probably are.
Been around a long time. They've got a lot lighter. Simply has a motor, a blade, and that must be sharp. A good base that the saw should ride on needs to always be true. So if a saw falls on the ground and it gets bent, straighten it out or replace it. It has an adjustment that you can tip the saw any way you want, up to 45 degrees to cut an angle or a bevel. It has an adjustable base plate on the height, so you can bring the saw up or down depending on the thickness that you want to cut of the material. What's really important is this guide right here that will automatically raise as you push the saw through the wood. As soon as you stop the cut, this bounces back and protects you against the blade.
Now, sometimes you see guys pin this up, and that is incredibly dangerous.
Very, very dangerous. I would never do that. No.
Okay. How do you make a clean cut efficiently?
Very simply, Steve. Let's say I want to make this board that long. This board, this long, I put a line. Right? I have to know where my blade is all the time. On this saw, it tells me that my blade will line up with that line right there. By being on this line, my saw blade will cut on that side of the line. Now I hold the saw against the line just as I have it. I simply take the square, push it up to the saw against the edge. I now hold it firmly. I bring the saw up against the square. Now my stance is important. My feet want to be back. I want to be behind the saw, not over the saw.
Nice and balanced.
Now what the key to this whole thing is let the saw do the work. I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to push gently.
Just like butter. Can I give it a shot?
Absolutely.
All right. Here's my mark. I'll draw a line. Balanced stance.
All right. Hold it firmly.
Here's on the line. Ski
Squeeze
square.
it hard.
Up against the base. Well, you make it look easy.
Perfect cut, Steve.
Now look, Tommy, I've been thinking about this all day. You walked out of here this morning with a rubber mud guard, and you said, I'm going to use it to save a marriage. What gives?
Take a look. Now, these folks heard about us on our website. Let's find out what their problem is. Hi, Anna.
Hi,
Tom Silva. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Come
nice to
in.
meet you. How are you? In your house from the outside, it's really nice.
Oh, thanks. Come on in.
It looks pretty in here, too. This is great. How long have you been here?
A little over 10 years now.
Yeah.
I built the house myself. I was a general contractor.
Built it yourself, general contractor? That's a tough job, huh?
A lot of work. Thanks to this old house.
Oh, great. Thank you for that.
How about a cup of coffee?
Oh, boy, all these pastries and stuff. Maybe later.
Okay.
Listen, you emailed us about a problem that you had with some noise. Can you explain a little more about that?
Why don't I show you?
All right. Yeah, this is really nice.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, the bedroom is on top of the garage. We park our cars. Well, at least I park my car. He refuses to park his car because of the sound issue. It's very loud when that door goes up and down. The house rattles. And he ends up being outside, and it's been a long winter, and he hasn't parked all winter.
So you have to go out there and shovel off the car and everything? Oh, boy.
With the
so it's
space.
the garage door is the noise is the problem
Right.
when it opens.
Right.
How bad is it?
It's bad. It's
Why don't you stay with Anna and I'll show you?
It's
All right,
loud.
We'll wait and listen.
I don't have the issue. He's the one that feels bad. I
Right.
mean, he's a real nice.
It is kind of noisy, Anna.
It's definitely. I mean, I was embarrassed that he bothered you guys.
Hey, listen, he doesn't want to wake his wife up in the morning.
I
What a
know.
guy.
He's a good guy.
All right, you stay here. I'm going to go down and take a look.
All right.
Well, Tony, it is a little noisy up there.
I told you on the email it was.
Yeah, so your truck doesn't know what it's like to be parked inside, huh?
Never had a warm winter.
Oh, boy. Well, let's see what we can do about this. What's this blue board up around the opener up here?
The fellow at the home center suggested I put some soundboard and some sheetrock over it to kill the vibration, but it hasn't helped.
No, that won't help. You've got a hard plaster garage here. This is like a tin can, and that vibration is just traveling right up through the structure. I think what I want to do here is I want to suspend this off of some rubber pads. I've got some in the truck. Let's try it. Fine. Okay, Tony. What I've done is I've taken the motor away from the metal hangers that are fastened to the structure. Now, if you try that with the remote, yeah, see, now the vibrations from the unit to the steel to the structure is not so loud. I think I might want to try one more thing, though. Okay, now we need to disconnect this front assembly, because this is on the front of the garage here. This is actually sending vibration up into the room above. Now, with this bracket removed, I will simply insert a piece of solid rubber. This little piece of rubber, I cut it out of a mud guard I got on the side of the road. Every little bit helps. Now, what I want to do, Tony, is I want to hang the motor with the rubber to isolate it from the hanger.
Is that going to be strong enough?
Absolutely, we've done it before. Okay, Tony, I want you to remove the ladder. Pull it right out. Good. I'll tighten them up and we're in business. Sounds better already, Tony. I think it's better. Let's find out from Anna if we pass the test. All right, Anna, this is the big test. Here's the opener. You try it.
All right. Hey, I think you did it.
Sounds a lot quieter.
We did a good job, Tony.
You guys are the best.
Hey, thanks for your help.
My pleasure.
Now we saved the marriage and you can park your truck inside, huh?
I hope
I think so.
Okay.
Hope so now.
Well,
thanks for coming, Tom.
All right, well, thank you.
Now, that is very clever, Tommy. Very clever. But you didn't get all the noise out.
Hey, Steve, I got enough noise out to save that marriage, and that's all that counts.
That is very true.
Nice job, Tom.
Thanks, Roger.
So what's this, Roger? AstroTurf?
Synthetic turf, Steve.
What, are you going to water it with those hoses we just fixed?
No, but I have a real great application for this in high-traffic areas. Take a look. 2 years ago, Liz and her husband Peter renovated this three-family and turned it back into a single-family residence. And I have to say, Liz, it came out great.
Thank you.
I was lucky enough to do the landscaping, which looks pretty good right now, too.
I agree.
But I see you're having some problems.
Yes, we're having a problem because we can't get grass to grow under our play set, and the area back here is very muddy and very mucky.
Well, the grass isn't going to grow. You have this Norway maple hanging over. Grass will not exist under the shade cast by this. Either sod or seed, it just won't make it. Okay. Now, as far as the mud goes, this is what's known as the clay pot of Cambridge. They used to come in there, they used to come in here and dig the clay and make bricks. Now, wherever you have clay, you have no drainage.
Right.
You're going to have a lot of mud.
Okay.
But I might have some solutions for you.
Okay.
Take a look at these. The first is a product that's been used for years, and that's sand.
Right.
Very inexpensive, easy to get, easy to install.
Okay.
Problem with cats sometimes, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Kids bring it in the house. The other thing that's used a lot is pea stone. Again, the kids can bring it in the house, and it does have some sharp edges on it. This is the latest and hottest thing. This is virgin wood fibers.
Okay.
No demolition, no pressure-treated wood, no nails.
But still hard on the kids' feet.
Well, yeah, especially if you like to go barefoot.
Right.
Now, with all of those, you also have to put in some sort of edging, or they'll just migrate onto the lawn you do save.
That's
But I have
true.
another solution for you.
Okay.
Take a look at this. Hi, Emmett.
Huh.
Artificial turf.
Okay.
Well, take a look. Can you live with that? How's it feel?
It feels okay. I don't know what my neighbors are going to say.
It's a great product because it has holes in it, so it's going to drain.
Okay.
But it is a little pricey. It's $2.50 a square foot. But it's something that's going to last 15 to 20 years, so you're getting a lot for your money.
Huh, okay.
All right, now we're going to have to come in and dig this whole area out, put in some sand and pea stone mixed together, pack that down, and then lay this on.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Well, I think it would probably solve the problem.
I hope you like the looks. It looks well like a grass that had a bad haircut. But I think for the durability in the mud, it's a great solution.
All right, well, let's give it a try.
All right, I'll work up a price and get it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye, Lil. So, we agreed on the price. $3,000 for 800 square feet installed, and we got to work. We started by removing the topsoil, the organic matter, all the way down to the subsoil, about 6 inches in this case. Then we laid in a mixture of sand and gravel to allow for drainage and ran a compactor over it. The artificial turf comes in large rolls. The pieces we had were 15 by 25 feet. After about 5 hours, the job was just about done. Okay, guys, let's roll it out. Todd, are you taking pin down that corner? Denisio, get the guys to get it swept right in, okay? What do you think, Liz?
Roger, this looks great.
I have to tell you, this is the first time we've used this product, and I'm really impressed.
I'm so glad.
What do you guys think?
I love it.
Okay, just show me. Go play.
So look, is anybody off to save a marriage next time around?
Not me.
I'm on the road to give a dog something to chew on.
A dog something to chew on. This I gotta see. So remember, folks, if you have a question, please write us a letter or email us. We'll try to answer. Until next time, I'm Steve Thomas
I'm Roger Cook.
I'm Rich Trethewey.
And I'm Tom Silver.
for Ask This Old House. Email your questions to askthisoldhouse at pbs.org or write to us at Ask This Old House, care of This Old House Magazine, 1185 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036. We look forward to hearing from you.